Obviously, this is Mark. I'm taking over the Monday Club channel because they have got a new sponsor, and that is Hypervolt. I think there are some key benefits to Hypervolt that really help us as installers, but there are also some key benefits of Hypervolt I want to speak about right at the outset. And one of those is something that is going to revolutionise stuff for us as installers, and that is fronting the grant payment back to us at the point the work's completed. So at the moment, for those of you who are involved with EV charge points, you'll realise when a grant application is made, we pass that saving straight onto the customer at the point of sale, and sometimes we can be waiting months to see that back. So if you're installing a few charge points every week, even as a small electrical contractor, that can soon add up to thousands and thousands of pounds you've got tied up in government hands, with no guarantee of when you're going to get that back. But regardless of that, Hypervolt have put a system in place where you can have that money fronted back to you direct from them at the point the work's completed. And that is an incredible thing. I think that is brilliant to help us as installers, and it shows Hypervolt aren't just focused on selling stuff to actual end users, they're looking after the installer network as well, which is absolutely mega.
Hello and welcome to Monday Club. This week we've got Marko in the house. That was a really crappy introduction, but it is what it is. Marko, why are you sitting?
Good evening. How are you? How are you both doing?
Now
then.
Let's address. Are you trying to show us that you're like hard? Because you've got your boxing gloves on one side, you've got your punch bag on the other side.
You know what?
Nice.
This shed's been all sorts over the 2 years we've been chatting on podcasts, Sam. And my 20-year-old son's now turning it into something that's actually useful. It is turning into a boxing gym. It's his birthday today.
Oh, your birthday.
He's had this punch bag put up, 45-kilogram one, and he's got his boxing gloves. So, yeah, I thought I'd get him in shot tonight to try and look like I'm going to use it.
Nice. So, what's been happening then, Marko?
Yeah, a bit of everything, mate. We've been busy with work. So we've been talking off social media, but we've been looking a bit at solar systems. So we've been helping a local heritage railway line with an off-grid solar lash up that they've currently got, trying to sort that out for them. Working a bit on some radar stations for the military. So it's been quite interesting looking at some of that. And then just the everyday house bashing kind of things as well. I've dropped a video out tonight that we've been doing a bit of corrective work on somebody else's attempts at moving a consumer unit. So yeah, just a bit of everything. We cover all sorts. So you get our hands dirty in all sorts of different sectors.
See, that's mad. That's mad. Because if you think about it, one day you could be working in a top secret radar station, and the next day you're working in Joyce's home round the corner.
Yeah, it is when you say it like that.
China Cup.
Yeah, I mean, that's from my background in electronics as well. So I kind of get messages from people who I worked with a long time in the past to come and have a look at certain bits and pieces, because we are electricians as well. And obviously with a security clearance, it's helpful. And then the other stuff, it's just getting your name known in the local area. You'll know that, Nick. You'll have people message you about stuff, having seen you on YouTube and social media, who want you to come and look at this. It was the same with this heritage rail line. They'd watched some of my other videos and wanted us to come down and help them out because they thought, you know, we'd be reasonably trustworthy. So we're helping with that one. First person I got in touch with on that was Neil, actually, because as we know, he's off grid. So I've been hitting him up for some tips and advice and things that he can suggest.
Because what interests me, because we watched Grand Designs a couple of weeks ago. I used to love it constantly. And you got a few of the eco homes. A guy who built his house. It was a complete concrete pad and shell and everything, but it was very thick. And he backfilled everything in to almost look like a hobbit house. So from the outside, it was just a green hill. And he was saying over time, once the concrete dries out, because obviously it takes years, but the natural heat source from the ground and the sun throughout the years and years and years, the whole house would be self-sufficient with heating. And obviously this was, at the time of film, it was like a 2.5 year span. So they managed to get the gun out at the end and be like, yeah, it has gone up like 4 degrees, which was great. But how much money, let's say my house here, how much money would I have to invest in solar panels or a wind turbine or whatnot until it's paid itself back? And you wouldn't be quite off the grid here because you would need a good bit of land, a good bit of solar. How much money would you invest, you know, till you get that return back, until you're completely off the grid and everything's paid for? Because some people, you're talking 10, 20, 30 years, really, aren't you?
Yeah, it certainly used to be like that, I think, with the maths, Nick, but the price of electricity and stuff that we're seeing at the minute, that
Yeah.
equation's narrowing. We've been looking at it on our house, having solar panels fitted, and we're looking at going on a course so we can have a go at installing it ourselves as a bit of a test bed and a trial. And Stuart Cater's helped me price the system up, and it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be totally honest.
Oh, right.
And we reckon we can get about 40 to 50% off our electricity bill through installing solar panels, and that's without a battery system. So you can get bigger savings if you go to have a battery bank. So I think that it's getting to the stage now where you can get a payback within 3 or 4 years without any feed-in tariffs, whereas before you were looking at maybe 6 to 8 years where you could even be looking at a prospect of breaking even on your investment. But even then, that's not bad.
Most people back in the day because my neighbours had all of his solar panels fitted, and he got them at his old house, and he said on average it cost him about 10 grand, and you're looking at 10 to 15 years till they're paid off, and you're all right. But nowadays, if it's a good turnaround like that, then it's affordable for everyone.
Yeah, and there's
if you've got the upfront costs, because I'm guessing you can do some form of credit through them and everything like that as well.
Yeah. I mean, we've obviously had the labour side covered. You've got the scaffolding costs and things like that, but generally speaking, if you're an electrician, you can get a system in for not a lot of money, and get your payback quite quickly. For a normal consumer, you probably are 4 or 5 years. But there's the prospect of feed-in tariffs and stuff coming back again because the government are pushing all this energy efficiency and the COP26 or whatever it was. So there's all sorts of schemes springing up in government policy. So who knows what's going to happen there? So that's why I kind of thought...
This is how you know Mark is sneaky. Listen, Mark's sneaky like that. He's been watching the news. He's gone, right, they're bringing in all this climate change stuff. I'm going to get in on the ground floor, get all set up, ready to roll, should there be an opportunity. Listen, don't sleep on Mark. Not only is he the smartest person in the industry, he's now the sneakiest person.
Yeah, you see, I say that, and every time I come on
do you text him as well in the morning, Mark? Just let you know, he's the smartest person I know. Sam, can I just say, there's nothing inappropriate playing on the telly in your bedroom, is there? Because I can see you working away from home, having Babe Station on, and not realizing we can see the telly in the mirror.
Right. First of all, it's not a bedroom. This is the downstairs lounge. And secondly, no one watches Babe Station anymore. It's Pornhub, and that's not on. That's Netflix.
Right. Just checking before we have to then re-record this entire episode because you cocked up again.
Listen, it's been ages since we've had a mistake.
Well, yeah, true. To be fair, have you got any super glue on hand? Because I want to show you a trick.
What? How not to stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth like an idiot?
I died laughing listening to that today. That was brilliant.
Ridiculous. Absolutely.
Like I listened back to the episode on the way down here. I was laughing to myself thinking, who does that? Why is that even a thing?
No.
And listen, I've got to have more of a contribution to the show than nonsense that I do during the week. Like, I really need to start bringing some technical talk in about what I'm doing, understand DC voltage loss across a polarity reversal coupler, and just carry on. Just made that up. Sounded Mark's sitting there and his head's exploding. He goes, "This is not the correct terminology."
No, he's going, "Oh my God, Sam is so smart. How did you know that?"
I am. I'm wondering what the hell it is. You need to educate me. Let's hear about it.
How difficult do you think it would be? Because go back to my neighbour again. He was going to have the. It wasn't. He went because it's the Powerwall is the Tesla one, isn't it?
Yeah.
He went to go and have that, and then it came back too expensive. So he was going to opt for another one where they get recycled car batteries from Kia. I think they were Kias, and do a Powerwall. But how difficult would it really be to make your own battery storage?
Someone had a go at it, didn't they? I can't remember who it was, but I saw someone make a Homebrew lithium-ion battery store. I think it was that Ed from Wheeler Dealers for his car.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like an orange bubble car, and he converted it to be an electric vehicle, and he used a big lithium-ion battery bank he made himself. So it's possible, whether you'd get British standard markings for it and have it as a legit system to put in.
No overheating going on in there.
But you can do it in your own place, couldn't you? I mean, you can even go to the point of using some budget lead acid batteries. You're not going to get a great length of life out of them, but they would work for a while. You can make anything work with enough effort.
Yeah, what they're saying now is you don't. If you've got solar on your house and you've got an electric car, I'm sure you can use the battery in the car as
Charge the
like
house.
in conjunction with it, like as a power wall, if you like.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's not gonna wake up in the morning and your battery's gonna be rinsed out. It's gonna be like you're still gonna have like 70% in there.
Yeah, because I watched the couple of reviews when the new Ford F-150 Lightnings were released in the US.
That's it.
Apparently, we're not getting them in the UK because if we did, I actually would buy one, 100%. But their battery storage is so massive, being a huge truck it is. If let's say there was a tornado in America, whatever, and there was your supply was cut off completely, your house could last up to 5 days just running off your car.
Nice.
I was like, if that isn't a selling point, I know what is.
Yeah, because how many tornadoes do you get in Stafford?
You'd be surprised, mate. You'd be very surprised. You get a couple of people winging wheelie bins around every now and then, if that counts.
Listen, I'm not even going to ask Nick what he's done this week because you know why. He's going to be like, "Oh, I've done some rewires."
No rewires this week.
Go on then. What do you do?
I wanted to ask Nick about his big job he's been doing.
Who, me?
No, Nick, about the big job. I watched his video he put out tonight.
Oh, do we have to listen to this again? Just before we get into it, sporting the Spark top today. You can get them, click in the show notes, and you can order them for the cheap price of less than £20. I don't actually know the price of my own clothes, but yeah, order them up. Look smart wherever you go, and let everyone know that you're an electrician. Come on. Now, go on, Nick. Tell us a boring story about your rewire on a big.
Well, what is Mark? What do you want to know? Because
I was just seeing you put your video out today with Adam drilling away in the background, irritatingly working, generating your money while you're trying to record content. So annoying.
He is. I think he's getting sick of it because he is a constant. He just wants to graft, and he's the same as me. The quicker we get in there, get it done, the quicker we can go home. Simple as that. And when there's jobs like this where I know I can get 3, 4, 5 videos out maybe at one point, where it gives me a bit of a cushion to get some stuff recorded, the pressure's off for doing 2 a week and whatnot. But it's exciting in the sense of start to finish, very ground floor. We've got what would be a traditional rewire, but then first and second story, almost a new build.
Yeah.
I've not had a chance to record anything like that before. It's big. There's loads more exciting stuff going outside with all the different lighting and commando socket to supply the canal boat. And I had a few messages, which was quite cool because it's almost classed as a special location for a marine. So I need to spike it and TT it, which I didn't really know, which I'm quite happy I looked at. Loads of kinetic switching for RBG lighting, for uplights, house light, loads of cool stuff. So
how have you found managing the budget on that then? Has it kind of gone how you thought it would? Would it been your biggest job ever? Have you managed to keep within spec on cost?
I think so. It helps as well because obviously the money I'm making off the videos as well adds towards the cost really. Because I did say to the guys, okay, but a plumber watched me, who I recommended me to him, and he then started watching it, and he absolutely loves everything we do. Like he said, I can't wait till you do my fuse board because I'm just going to stand in the background and watch. But yeah, I don't think so because obviously the main cost at the moment we really got is cabling, capping, patrices, and everything. The big money will come in when we start doing all the lighting. We're just having white sockets everywhere for the time being. The kitchen's being ripped out at some point, so we've got to nip back and forward. Biggest thing for me at the moment is just traveling. It's like two and a bit hours every day. So it's all the time. Yeah, but Sam, when you don't have to travel, mate, for work, it's all right. But we've done this, and we're really enjoying it. We really are. And it was nice to get our hands stuck into for 4 days straight. It was. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it, mate. It's just a big thing, and we got to wait to make sure, like the video come out tonight, that stuff gets boarded the way it said it will get boarded. The things get pulled through that we said to get pulled through, but we shall see.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Thing is, we get into, like I said on the video, like a usual routine with a casual builder, a team that we've got built up. I know that the builder will do what we say, or the builder asks us to do something, we'll do it. But when you're working for someone brand new, you have no idea how they work. So it's trying to get used to each other. But we've had a good chat. The builder's really, really nice guy. I just need to make sure that, well, he's bringing in plasterers, and I've not seen the plasterers yet. So
yeah, it's one of those. It is always a worry, isn't it? I know what it's like as you start taking on bigger jobs. You make a step up to something else. It is always a worry. Have I priced this right? Have I allowed enough time for that? Will it actually take me a day to do that bit of the job? And it's all a bit of an unknown. It's a nice learning journey to go on. I think there's a lot of tradespeople who go through that. over the years, and it never stops. You know, you keep growing and growing, stuff gets bigger and bigger and more expensive, the risks larger. So, you know, it's one of the things we have to deal with.
I had a thing with pricing it up, which we normally do per point for a rewire, per point, socket, downlights, and then we've had a bit of Ethernet put in there. We've had armor cable into the garage and the outer house, and obviously bits and bobs outside as well. But price it per point, add your traveling on, and then figure out materials and try and figure out the best way, because you want it to be very profitable, but equally you don't want to overprice it, because I know there's another spot pricing it as well, and I think we landed in with about 500 quid in between each other, which was sound. So it shows that I was close. But someone has asked if I can, after the job's done, if I can sort of do a breakdown of materials, labor, and everything to see how much profit was made on the job, which I'd happily do, because I've got nothing to hide. And I just wish other people would do it as well, because then everyone can sort of judge what the local, but it changes throughout the country. Like, you'd be different where you are to where I am.
Yeah, definitely. And people get scared of showing profit, like it's dirty, but we're all in business to make money. There's nothing wrong with generating profits. If you can do nicely for yourself on a bit of work, crack on.
Yeah, and the customer's happy with us.
Strange mentality that we have in this country about that, I think.
Yeah, because we had this big thing in the video I did about customers asking questions. I was all up for the video. I thought it was great that they asked so many questions, this person, because some were very simple to answer, but then some of you just go, oh, I never thought about ever writing any of that down. Like, they put liability insurance, never thought about writing it down in my estimates and whatnot. But about pricing, can you break down labor and materials? And I've always gone, no. Like, I don't agree with it, but then you can see why some people want to. Some black guys have no problem at all. Yeah, labor's 500 quid, materials are £100. But I then almost feel dirty that the customer goes, oh, so you're charging me for £500 for, and you're going to be here for a day. You think that's reasonable, but then you almost have to justify yourself to what you're worth. And then I just still like it.
This is why I can't do your jobs, because I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't even justify myself. That's the price. Go and get someone else to do it. And I literally, I just like, I have to take my hat off to you, because I couldn't do it, because I just
stopped doing it. This is the price, and that's it.
Yeah. Domestic jobs, I'm the same. It gets quoted. That's it. They either like it or they don't. We had a customer tell us the other week that they thought we were a bit rich on price. And it's just like, well, that's your opinion. You're welcome to go around and get other prices, but I'm not going to change my rates. Having been in the industry 20 years, pricing jobs every week, I'm pretty happy that, you know, I'm there or thereabouts, generally speaking. With commercial customers, they do want to see a bit of a breakdown on bigger projects, definitely. So we do that.
Yeah, but then again, when they ask you and you haven't worked it out, it's more time and effort than going back for your paperwork to figure out material costs and labor costs.
Yeah.
It's more time and effort. And then they go, oh, actually, no, we don't want to go with you. It's like, well, I've spent 5 hours already coming around, quoting it, writing an estimate out, putting all the details in, to then not get the job. You want me to spend another hour doing it as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is off. And some customers don't understand that. They just see you as somebody's out to try and fleece them. It's just that etiquette, isn't there? You won't go into Tesco's and say, oh, that pack of sausages that you reckon's a couple of quid. Yeah. I don't think they're actually worth that. How much did it cost you to get them into this shop? How much did you pay the supplier of the sausages? People would never do it, would they? No. Well, maybe some people would.
Sam would.
See, I'm really funny about this. I don't question other people's prices. Like, I really don't. I'm really funny. Like, I'd rather work a weekend and get someone to paint a room, for instance. So say it costs 200 quid to paint a room. I'd rather go and work a weekend and earn the money doing what I do and let a professional paint a room. So if they say to me it's 300 quid to paint a room, then it's 300 quid. Like, listen, I'm not dumb. I'm not going to go and get like 5 quotes and then be like, I'm going to get more quotes, and then I'm going to weigh up the situation. Sometimes if they come around in a signed van all uniformed up, and they might have 2 or 3 vans, and they're like 100 quid more, there's a reason they're 100 quid more, because they've got more overheads. And they're probably going to do a more professional job. I don't know how it works, but generally you can sort of look into it and be like, right, that's how I'm going to go.
Do you ever feel like, because I've had people around before, like we've got a guy that actually messed me around who half rendered my outside of my utility room, but being in the trades and whatnot, and when someone goes, oh yeah, he said to me it cost £600 to render it, And you know, when you just sit there going, well, I actually know how much a bag of render is. You say it's going to take 2 days, and you almost work it out in your head, and you go, fuck off, mate. Like, come on.
Sometimes,
but that's being in the trades, you can sort of see from each other's point of view.
If all of a sudden it's like 600 quid a day for something, you're like, nah, not paying that. You're out your mind. Yeah. But listen, I'm not paying a painter 600 quid a day to paint a room. No, I'm not doing that. Oh, and listen, painters are my mortal enemies. I don't like painters.
Why?
It's not really a trade, first of all, right? Second of all,
my dad was a painter. Remember that?
Still not a trade. Doesn't matter who. Listen, Prince Charles could be a painter. Still not a trade, right? Don't care. You piss, you can paint, right? First of all, I could be the best painter if I decided to be, because it's literally cutting in. That's it. It's not hard. Let's have it right.
What about hanging paper, lining, sanding?
That's a
filling?
decorator. I'm talking about painting.
A painter and decorator, it's the same thing.
Are you now dividing the decorating industry into subsections?
It's a painter and decorator.
I'm de-skilling. I'm a one-man de-skilling army of the painting and decorating.
You're going to have a short course for wallpapering next time.
We'll be all right, because no painters have internet, so they won't listen to this.
No, they don't. And I'll tell you a story about a painter once. Pissed me right off.
Can't wait.
I probably told it before, but I'll tell it again. So I'm on site, and it was a weekend. And I was quite young at the time, and I had this brand new Adidas tracksuit, and I was only going in to do some testing and stuff, and then I was going to meet some people afterwards. So I went in my tracksuit, and I'm sitting on the stairs, and there's like these new build flats, and there's a big load of BT cables that someone cut all the tags off, like when they left, they cut all the tags off. So we had them socket and C things. But you can they do them for the BT testers as well. So it was my job to sit with the phone whilst the other geezer went round and just plugged in the tester, and then I'd have to go through and then find the one, and then we can write it down, room 66 or whatever. And the painter's going around, he's like, mate, you got to get out of the way. I'm on a price. I'm like, listen, mate, no problem. I'll get out of your way. But let me just find this last one whilst he's plugged in. No, mate, no chance. And went straight past me, flicked paint all over me. I was like, mate, what are you doing? He goes, well, I told you. Now get out of the way. I was like, all right, sweet. And I was a little bit wild back in the day. And when I went outside, and I'm fuming now. And I didn't realise it's only wall paint. You can get that off. It's still a new tracksuit, so you don't even be messing about with it. But I thought it was staying now. I was like, so I'm thinking what I'm going to do. Like, I don't want to go and have a fight on site and all that. So I went walking up the road, and there was like a little paint shop. And I was like, sweet. Went in there and bought a pot of pink. Is it emulsion? What's enamel? Pink enamel. Hot pink
oil
enamel.
Based.
The oil-based stuff. And I just walked up to him, opened it up and went, yeah, bosh. And done him right over. And he chased me down the road with his scraper thing. but ever since, I've hated painters since then. It's just ridiculous.
So you've tied all painters with the same brush then, because one of them wound you up. They're now all arseholes.
Yeah. I don't like painters. They all come in, oh, mate, we've got to paint this room, need you out, mate. And you're like, you're a painter. You're basically a paintbrush away from being a labourer. So fuck off.
My dad used to do, just anytime working together, anything I have is in the middle of the room. He would sheet everything up, dust sheet it, floor it, mask it, everything, except for my tools. Fucking every time. You get a spray unit out, spray the ceiling, and it was just like, you think, it's just a bit of dust. And you know when you blow it, but then it doesn't move. Because it's so fine. You look at it, everything he had. But he used to come home, and from his forearms here, where his rolled his shirt up to, he would just have white hands all the time, like completely scrubbed. But yeah, it was just all come home with him where he wore glasses, literally, and the rest of his face was just white. Obviously, he didn't wear a mask or anything like that, because that generation didn't.
No, they didn't.
No. We just come home, and our house would just always stink of wet paint. And we'll go, you painted? No, Dad's just come home. Fact.
Cool story, bro. So, I'm going to ask about my week. I actually haven't got much to tell from last week. I was, where was I last week? I was in Romford, working in a X-ray room in Romford.
Cool story.
What? You
It's a
can't
cool
call
story,
story
yeah.
me now. That's just petty. And I work with X-ray machines, which is way better than what you're doing. And consumer unit and downlight. Relax, yeah. This is big boy level. You're not here. So yeah, so just really just prepping rooms, really. Go
How
on.
much money do you earn, Sam? How much money do you earn, Sam? You want to be a big boy electrician? How much money do you earn?
Listen,
Yeah. Shh.
this is what I get put in.
That's not your house.
It doesn't matter. I just get like, listen. They rent me whole house just to go and like be me. That's all I'm saying.
Idiot.
And by the way, you're welcome for what you earn. Because I just take credit for all of Nick's extracurricular activities that he earns money from YouTube.
It's like I've got OnlyFans now, doesn't it? Nice one.
Purely down to me. So you're welcome.
Of course. Thank you, King Sam.
Yeah. I could get used to that.
Brilliant.
Insane.
Yeah, you should get a little crown instead of a lightning bolt.
No, the lightning bolt is what signifies the spark.
Have we got a topic?
Mark, what topic have you brought today? You all usually bring some topic. You like, I need to come on this week. I got something to say.
I just wanted to come and chat with you guys this week. So stuff that's been getting spoken about is to do with courses again. Don't know if you've seen much of that, but we've had a lot of people have been let down by colleges with their training. There's been a few issues of part-time learners not getting onto the level 3 courses, so the 2365s as they were.
Why?
And they're saying that there's not enough space for them, so they're allocating places for full-time learners ahead of the part-time adult retrainees, because the colleges get more funding on that basis. So you can understand why they're doing it. And the same again about short courses being abused by people. And I've said before that I don't think we should be letting non-electricians do the wiring regs, even to that extent. I know that you will have people within management and the wholesale network and stuff who want an understanding of the regulations, but I think we should be more protective of that base qualification. It stands for quite a lot in our industry. Without that, you can't get into your CPS. You're not going to get an up-to-date gold card. So I don't think we should be letting any Tom, Dick, or Harry do that course.
See, that's funny actually, because my cousin, he's a maintenance engineer, and so he's been doing it since he left school. And he went and done his 18th edition not so long ago. He's not an electrician, but where he messes about in buildings all the time is just is one of the company requirements. Can you go and do this? So
it's so weird to say that. My mate does really good work from high school. No, it's a good story. Genuinely, he does all the lighting rigs for movie sets in London, and he had to get his 18th edition because he asked me about it, and he was like, "Oh, have you got the book?" I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Can I borrow it?" I was like, "No, it's my book. It's expensive. If you want a book, you buy your own." And he said, "Oh, we've got to do 18th edition to start doing just literally wiring rigs, but all plug and play. It's nothing. It's not fixed wiring or anything."
You know what that is? That is someone misunderstanding what the regs are there for. Like, you get it all the time.
They are sold extensively, though, aren't they, to people who aren't electricians? I think there should be some sort of management course for it or something, like there is with pat testing. You have the one that the engineers do and the one that the management people would do. I think we should maybe look at something like that if there is a need for wholesalers and like your friend in the lighting rigs and whatever else, where they do need some awareness of it, but not to the point it's devaluing the qualification for us as electricians. It's the same with the 239 one as well. People are going off doing that who aren't electricians.
Yeah.
So you can have plumbers doing it, for example, so they can do test and inspection on those few spares that they're installing. I think we need to get a little bit more protective of our courses, but without denying access to training for other people who legitimately need it.
But I
in
think
my
it
opinion,
comes down to the fact. So this is the age-old argument, man. This is what me and Rick started out talking about back in the day, and nothing's changed, and probably never will. The biggest problem I see from protecting the industry is there's no governing body. There isn't really.
Yeah. You need an overruler.
Yeah, like there needs to be some sort of Council of Electrical Knowledge, and that council.
This is going off that what you were saying. I know what you said, because gas safe is what I have to say is more important. The government run is gas safe, so it was Corgi, but the government run that, and they do all the training for it, to my knowledge, and do all the certification for it. Is all government led. But electrics, it isn't. Electrics is free roam to people who want to create their own CPSs, jump through the hoops, and then create their own.
It's probably all to do with. It's probably all to do with the fact that, you know, like, it's all probably to do with like politics and stuff like that, where the companies like NIC and NAPIT and stuff like that, they exist because there's a market for them to exist in. Now, where they've got so big, and obviously the ECA feed into NAPIT, not NAPIT, NIC and Searchall and all that connections that have been spoken about before, they're not just going to sort of wipe them off the face of the planet now. I feel like it's been like this for too long for it to have a fundamental change. I think there was quite an interesting debate going around about if they, like in Scotland, you can't, it's against the law to say you're an electrician if you're not. There's like a certain, like the term electrician is protected by law.
I think I don't know if they've got that in place yet, but I know Select are trying to do it.
Yes, that's
I don't know
it.
if they have actually managed to do that as yet, but they're pushing it.
So that would be good if they put, like, if we could follow suit and do the same down there. It's a whole different thing, but I doubt they.
Then you would call me not an electrician, Sam?
No, because I don't know. Listen, the whole gold card thing is a farce. I mock people who don't have it, and I like to lord it over people because it's literally my greatest achievement. So, I haven't really completed much in life, and I've got that, so I was quite pleased with myself. So I'm incredibly proud of it. But the reality is, don't need it, do I? Don't need it.
We'll screenshot this and plaster it all over social media. What he just said, everyone.
But
everyone comment below now. Sam said you don't really need a gold card. Thank you.
That's kind of where
if you want to be universally accepted as an electrician on any site in the UK, you got to have it.
That's kind of leading towards that. Did you see the EFIX domestic electrician apprenticeship that they were speaking about? Gary did a.
I never watched it, but I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're on about having a route to a kind of gold card, but just been in the domestic sector.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think it's needed.
I think so. I mean, if you look around all the industry where we've got commercial, industrial, and domestic, we do seem to have a bit of a problem in the domestic market. Whether that's just because we see a lot more content on social media from that place, I don't know. But having some sort of standard that everybody needs to attain,
but who's going to bring that in?
A good thing.
Because
I'll be the face. I'll be the face. I'll do it. We'll do it. End electrical domestic courses.
No, it's not even that. Because the problem is that the mechanics of that. What is that now? The mechanics of it is when you look at the JOB is half ECA and half United Union, or what do they call it? A combine of unions and groups of things.
God, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, so it's like the UN for the electrical industry. One side you got the workers, one side you got the ECA affiliated companies, or the JOB, and then they all sign up to the JOB rules and principles that are negotiated by each side. So that's what the JOB is, and that's why they can issue a gold card, because most of the companies that require you to have a gold card will be commercial, industrial, ECA type companies.
Yeah.
Although you can be in the ECA and just be like a house basher like Nick, you can still join the ECA. You meet their requirements, you join it, and
stuff
like that.
I like the tone you used when you said that.
Well, you shouldn't. But the reality is, it's the big companies like your T Clarks, and I think it's T Clark. I think they're part of it. Yeah, T Clark and all them. They're all part of the ECA. But for house bashers, it would almost require like NAPIT, NIC to sort of come to terms on a basis of what a domestic installer is, because they're the two that matter really.
I think There's a place for it, because realistically, let's say what Adam does now. I'm
What's that
happy
other
he's
one?
doing.
I can't remember. Hold on. Trove. What about Trove? Why don't you go and get Trove?
Never heard of it. The stuff that he's learned at college to start doing all the trade work and everything. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but we never do any commercial industrial other than my unit or my mate's unit helping him out. But I don't price jobs up. People have asked me before. I'm not interested. We like working in domestic. So if the lads that watch us have only ever want to work in domestic, then it's a fantastic course, and you can cut half the regs book out, because half the stuff in their mix, like all the special locations, realistically, it's just a bathroom and a kitchen, really, in a house dwelling. But then you've got, I suppose you can go down the swimming pool route as well, couldn't you? Really. But I, if I had the chance and we could go back in time, I'd just have done the domestic one. Yeah.
It kind of follows. Sam kind of nailed it there with the make it an NIC, because that's where this has come from. The EAS document that's kind of been rewritten for September. They're giving these new entry requirements to work in the domestic sector, and this new course, new domestic electrician apprenticeship thing, is the answer to that. And there's two kind of pools forming on social media. I can see it happening already, where some people are right behind it, thinking it's a good thing, and other people are saying it's sort of watering down the intent of what that EAS document was trying to achieve. So, it depends how industry is going to look at this. Are we going to accept that a shorter version of a traditional apprenticeship just to work in the domestic sector is a good thing, or that we're actually devaluing what an electrician is as a whole, and we should be focusing more on traditional apprenticeships? And then you've got T levels as well that are all coming out. Things are getting quite complex with the apprenticeship system. That's another aspect to it. With T levels, the employer doesn't actually need to pay for somebody to come and work for them. The college provide them to you for free. So you've got that aspect of, our employees even going to take apprentices in anymore when they can get that free labour through T levels?
Do you know what's dumb? And this is the dumbest comment of all time. Domestic electrical work is harder and more complicated than commercial.
Who said that?
Listen,
I think we've got loads
who.
of sound bites from this podcast for Sam now.
Listen, it don't matter who, but people say that, and that's dumb.
Grafting wise, I know, like, I can stand on at grafting wise. I can say
yes, because you have to.
I would say grafting wise, the lofts, the floorboards, the carpets, the furniture, depending what you're doing. If you want to do the biggest job you can, an occupied house rewire, you would struggle to do that much hard work and effort in a commercial place where you get given schematics and drawings and scissor lifts and ladders and health and safety and ropes and hard hats, and all your materials are already there. Here's your angle grinder, here's your goggles. Crack on. Do you know what I mean? You already get told what to do, but for what we have to do, it's completely different.
Yeah, but it's mostly rule of thumb. Don't act like you're referring to the regs 3 times a week, because you ain't.
I don't need to. I know all the ones I need to know for domestic. I do it that often.
So it's in a nutshell. It's not like you can diversify and go and do smart homes and nonsense like that. But the reality is,
it's not. It's smart homes are actually sometimes simpler to run cables, as in the main 240 volts, because the rest of it is just 12-volt wireless.
This is what I'm getting at. It's silly to suggest that. So what would they do? Have a 1.5-year course, or like a 3-day course
potentially,
to become a domestic installer? Because that's all it would take, really, about 35 minutes of.
I thought you could say 6-week course, you'd be done. Nice one, mate.
35 minutes. No, listen. The reality is, any apprenticeship should be a minimum of 3 years. But it just, to me, it would be a shame for an apprentice to put that much effort into learning a trade, only learning
and only be
part of it.
half qualified, really. Technically, that's what it would be. If Adam was to come with me, he would never be given the chance to go and do other stuff afterwards, because he's only got a domestic course.
Unless he went and done an additional course to be a commercial electrician, and then people would be like, "Nah, you got to go back and do a proper course. Otherwise, you're not considered an electrician." By the hardcore commercial people, I'm not considered an electrician.
Really?
I've got my gold card. I've got my gold card.
Why?
Because I didn't do a formal apprenticeship, and it was straight from school. You're not considered a proper electrician if you haven't done that.
What do they think of me then? Go to college for 3 years.
You're what they call unskilled.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's a group
got,
of there's a group out there, and they would not.
Oh, there's some proper militant sparks who are
Yeah,
very entrenched in their opinions for sure. But
it's
ultimately, a
mental.
lot of them aren't very good on the tools either. I've been around some of those guys, and they're not the best
No, you know what they
from
are?
my own personal experience.
Super lazy, like worse than me.
What I mean,
Like mad lazy. Like if you think I'm bad, they are like the worst. And it's like they turn up with like just a bag of hand tools, no battery drill, no nothing. No, don't provide that. Don't provide that. I only provide hand tools and my labour. It's like, mate, you just can't compete in this world. You dinosaur. Because
no,
old Dimitri has just come in with a whole 18-volt power toolkit.
and they won't like this
They
kind
don't
of
care
course.
about your principles.
No, they won't like that course. I think looking at it, if you're a school leaver, you might as well do a proper apprenticeship because it's free, isn't it? You're getting that for free. If you're an adult retrainee, having some sort of course where you can focus in on a domestic area, if that's something you want to do as a career, that's got to be a good thing. If it's better than the 5-6 week courses we've had in the past, we'll see how that pans out, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right there, because I get so many messages from guys late 20s, early 30s saying, I want to retrain. And I've said this on a video that's coming out soon, where I understand why the fast track courses are there. I really do. And I have sympathy for the guys that want to go into it and they're frowned upon for using it. They've got a mortgage, they've got kids, they've got overheads. They can't go and take an apprenticeship on, working minimal wage, trying to secure a house. And they would then be stuck in the job they're in. They wouldn't be able to be a spark without these courses. It's just a shame that it's so frowned upon. And I do feel like there should be, with the fast track courses, you have to have a minimum requirement of hours on site, on-site learning, just to give those people a bit more competence when they're going into people's houses, because they could come out after 6 weeks, to my knowledge, and work in someone's house, where if you're three, never done it before, and we did 6-week course, we would walk in and go, where do you start? Like, do you know what I mean?
There's no courses showing you how to chase out properly. That's not a thing.
No, or lifting floorboards, or chasing a socket in a brick wall, or pulling loft insulation up, or measuring out downlights, or getting rid of the rubbish, or collecting dust, or putting stuff down, or taking carpets up and putting them. There's so many things domestic you do not get taught, because all I had was an A-frame board, which was not even a meter by half a meter, that had 4 billion holes in it, almost like Jordan's wall when he keeps changing his EV charger at home. That's what my board looked like. And it was like, clip this, where the cable clips, and it's where someone would pull the 2.5mm clips back out of it and they put it back in a tub for you to reuse it. And luckily, my dad knew a few guys. I did some work experience, but a lot of the guys, I think there was 40 people on my course, and only 3 of us out the entire 3 years actually got anywhere.
Yeah, that's not unusual, mate. It's not unusual. Listen, any trade, even painting, requires some time.
Yeah,
like time on the tools, putting reps in, understanding what happens when this happens. And 90% of any installation work is getting over problems, isn't it? You get like 30 problems a day on a very easy install, whether it's, I don't know, you're drilling into a wall that's not really taking the screws properly, or I don't know, you broke a blade on your hacksaw and now you got to go and get another hacksaw blade, and that might just lean into it. And all these little problems that come along with dumb stuff, that is what you spend most of your day doing. And the rest of the time, you're spent looking for a tool you just put down. I swear, just put that screwdriver down. Where has that gone?
And it's where I think nowadays as well, because before social media, we were all stuck in our own ways of how to chase a wall, how to sink a socket, how to hang a fuse, like so many ways. But now with social media, we've all start putting content out there. We've all picked up tips and tricks where we could use or get this specific tool where we can do our job a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster. And all that adds up to us doing a better job overall, finishing earlier and starting the next job and earning more money. So it's all like the Metabo wall chaser, you can't beat it. To then use oval conduit and then to use all-round band to hold it in place, that chase there is done tidy, neat and professional as you can do it in half the time it would have taken to use an SDS and nail it to the wall where the nails don't go in the wall properly. Do you know what I mean? And all this is combined into all of us hopefully getting the standard higher and higher each year when we all find out more tips and tricks or tools that come out.
Yeah, but that requires This is another thing
Practice.
that is lost from the industry, I think, and lost from the training side of it with the 6 weeks courses, is passion and like dedication to your trade. Like if you do a 6 week course, you don't understand them things. You don't understand what it is to sort of, if I refine this, that gives me more time to do this and then make more money. It's like, I think these things sort of, those things that you can only
I'll
really
find the
pick
love
up.
for it.
Well,
Yeah, you got to
can
find
only
love
really
for
pick
it.
them up whilst you're working with someone who's doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you've got to try the old way first to figure out that this other new way is much better. And that leads you onto the van again.
It's the intangibles you don't get from an apprentice. The intangibles you get from an apprenticeship, you're not getting from a 6 week course. Not happening.
Yeah, completely agree. And then, like with the van, having a nice, neat, tidy, racked van to find the tools quicker and easier.
Come on,
get the job finished quicker. Do you know what I mean? And like my old boss, he had his van fairly neat, and then I moved on to mine. I had it all right, and you would look for an hour for a 5.5 SDS bit that you knew you bought last week and wasted an hour. But like now, you can just try and take pride and each section of your work day is just getting better and better. It just leads to a better job and satisfaction and a better state of mind at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? When everything's just as you want it.
Yeah, being organised helps you be more productive. Just for having a cleaner, tidier mind of your own, knowing that you've made that effort, I think it makes you more productive as well. Not just the fact that you can find things easier.
And then I think you look forward to the next day.
Yeah,
you can like, I've smashed this today. Like, what's tomorrow going to bring? And your van's sorted, your materials are sorted, and you can like challenge yourself a little bit.
See, I've got a challenge this week. I've got to take 3 drawings and condense them into one. So I'm going to take one drawing. So there's 3 different companies working in. So I'm on a job in Exeter, working on an old Nightingale hospital. Well, I say old, about a year. It's being absorbed by the main hospital down there. So we are converting the X-ray rooms. Well, whatever it was before, they're going to be X-ray rooms now in the Nightingale. So it's basically a new build, and there's 3 services going in, all electrical. One from the main M&E company, one from us, and one from the medical equipment company. So each one is going to ask me questions about the other one. So I'm just going to produce a drawing with all 3 on, and it's things like that you sort of can't remember the point of my story, to be honest. But yeah, this week I'm going to be creating a drawing, and it's going to make me very happy to sit down tomorrow on site and just do that drawing and just make sure that it's all nice, and then I can move away from that problem because I can just dish it out to the people that come asking questions. And it's about being organised and getting on top of things, and I think that comes from what Nick was saying about his crappy little van.
So, all right, I've just, my video's gone up tonight, and I've had that many people message me. Apparently, I don't know why, but Jordan Artisan, I don't know if he's done an advert for his YouTube channel or his business or something, but people are having adverts for Jordan on my videos. Like, what?
That'll be his Sage video. He got quite a lot of heat for that.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've read the comments.
Yeah,
he joined a shorts video of promoting Sage and how Sage has helped him. I'm not mocking Jordan, by the way. Like, Jordan knows I like him, but he did a short video of how Sage has helped him have more time and everything. So he's took his Tesla to France for 3 weeks and everything like that. And it was just like, made no sense, to be honest. And everyone in the comments went ballistic at him.
You know what though? I was one of the people who defended him.
Looking now,
comments.
I saw, yeah.
Because you guys produce all this content for free. You were saying about people getting all these tips and improvements that they can make in their day-to-day lives. They're getting value in that most weeks. And then one week when an advert comes up that's 1 minute long,
I know,
where Jordan makes a bit of a payback for all of that time for himself, people are saying, unsubscribed, this is an advert, blah, blah, blah. I just don't understand that mindset. You're not a paying customer. He's not doing it. He's not doing that content for charity, is he, at the end of the day?
No, people don't understand unless they're in the atmosphere of YouTube and know how it works in and out and have done it themselves. They don't appreciate the time and effort going in. and how much, like we say, they pick up tips and tricks from everyone, not just me, maybe Sam, probably not.
Yeah.
But that they've used on site that saved them time, that's earned them more money. We've put the money in their pocket from copying our idea that we've showed everyone. So you can watch a 1 minute video and just.
I'm sure
not, mate. It's not though, is it?
Listen, I'm sure Mark would defend it. I'm sure Mark would defend it.
No, is it a stretch though? From what I've said, everyone let me know if someone's watched me, if Sam sees me using the Wall Metabo, like the thing I said earlier, Oval Conjure all-round band. It's a nice, neat finish. It was very quick and barely any mess. If someone copies me from doing their original way of SDSing, doesn't go in a straight line, goes up the wall, I clip the cables, that whole job then takes them, let's say, an hour. Do it my way, it'll take you about 20 minutes. You do that over the span of a year, how much more extra time and money have you made yourself from copying what I've showed you?
Thank you, Nick.
Really?
Awesome.
It's not just either. You could put your content behind a paywall, so Patreonage or whatever you call it, and then people have actually got to pay to access it. Doing it in the way
I can understand you dropping the adverts. Absolutely.
Where you take the adverts, you can make some money for yourself for all of the hours you're putting into your content. And Jordan's production costs must be massive.
I already know, and I've not spoken to him about this. The money I had to pay Kip, which Kip was great. Kip watches this. The money I paid Kip to film and edit me, which he did me a big discount anyway. The money I made off ad revenue alone didn't cover the cost of Kip's time. And Kip did me a favor. I can imagine Jordan's or Nagy's cameraman would charge more. The ad revenue alone, and if you don't have any sponsored videos, let's say for 4 videos, you're making a loss per video. And they're only doing it for advertisement purposes to push the name and brand to get work in.
And it's good content. Why shouldn't you be able to make some money out of it?
This is my whole thing. This is my whole thing. You know me, I'm a massive advocate of earning money from content. I think it's.
How's that going for you? Sorry.
I don't know. How's it going for you, Nick? Tell me.
Really well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You just need this. That's all you need. Carry on.
Listen, I'm looking quite fat and handsome with my new.
I told you should grow a beard.
Yeah, it suits you. The beard suits you.
I bought.
If I could, I would grow one.
Listen, I've got a special, like, proper professional set of clippers, so as I can crisp it up all nice and shape it up good.
I don't. I just have a wet flannel. Mine just falls off if I go to the shower.
Listen, I was making a point about being an advocate of making money from content. Stop moaning about people making money from content. Ain't a big deal. Don't watch it. There's a million bits of content.
Millions of people do it.
It is a thing. It's a business. Like, people make money. Don't get over it.
Yeah, I don't like the videos that people put up and go, you can earn £1,000 in 4 hours if you watch this 3-minute video. No, you can't.
No, you can't. It's not a thing. Not a thing. I'll tell you what you can do. You can start up a YouTube channel, spend hours and hours and hours and hours of editing and pouncing about, re-recording, splicing things together, spend thousands of pounds on equipment. Then maybe after 3 or 4 years, you can start making some decent money out of it. But really, to break even, you'd probably need to be making £100,000 a year for the next 5 years. So the reality is, no one's making crazy money out of this. It's not like Nick's copying £500,000 a year out of his channel. It's not like Monday Club or
I wish. Christ.
Like that sort of money. It's not like Jordan's copying £500,000 out of it, and he's flying. It's not a thing. A little bit of. It's a little bit of a touch.
We do it. It's a nice little uplift. This is one of the main things where I could afford to take Adam on, or what I thought I needed to take Adam on to have that cushion that I could pay him. And after the first 2 months, I was like, the money that we could earn together of doing jobs with me spending time, it wasn't a need. But we worked out if you take my 210 videos or whatever I've uploaded ever, how many hours per video that's been, of how much income revenue I've had over the past 2.5 years. If you work that out for an hourly wage, it probably wouldn't be far off minimum wage, really.
And you're flying now. Now you're flying
because I've put the groundwork in. Now it's paying off.
Yeah, but you think about it. You're nothing compared to YouTubers. Like, yes, you're
nothing at all.
But even
gamers, YouTubers, millions. subscribers.
Millions of subscribers. Like even the biggest in our industry is nothing. Nothing.
No.
I suppose.
But the best thing about it,
the biggest one is probably Electro Boom. But he's not really an electrician. He's like an electrical engineer. He's like a super genius, isn't he?
He's a scientist or something, isn't he? Yeah. But the thing is with us, the gaming now, because I was telling Cole, my eldest, this the other day, because he had a sick day. He was coming up on a video actually soon because he wasn't feeling very well. Like come 10 o'clock and he was absolutely fine. So I got him doing some work around this person's house. But the gaming market, everyone wants to be a YouTube gamer or a streamer, a Twitch streamer. It's so saturated nowadays. Everyone wants to do it. There's literally hundreds of thousands of YouTube gamers. But the good thing about what we're doing, it's such a niche. There's only a couple of us. We can control it. So let's say I have 50,000 subscribers. Realistically, if you were to convert that into a gaming world, I could have 1 million subscribers with the content we could push out, the views, the money we get in from it. It's all in ratio to what niche you're in. Do you know what I mean? If you go into a business niche, they earn you got your CPM and your RPM with YouTube to the guys that don't know it. So a CPM is counts per milli, which is how much YouTube gets paid per 1,000 views. On average, for my sort of channel, it's £5 to £6. That's CPM. RPM is what I actually get after YouTube's cut. So realistically, you're talking £3 to £4 per 1,000 views. That's how it works out. So a lot of my videos recently have been hitting 30,000 views. I take on average about £140 to £160 per video. It fluctuates, but you go for a business video on YouTube, their RPM is what they take home. You're talking like £70, £80 per 1,000 views. It's 10 times, if not more, than our niche. But gamers, they're less than us because there's so many of them now.
I see what you're saying. That's quite interesting, man. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, but then you've got the casual vloggers, or you got like Mr. Beast, who's like 79 million subscribers. His is, you need to look at what their genre is on YouTube or what they send out for, but he's like entertainment vlogger, and he could have 2 videos that are almost identical to each other, but one could get £50 per 1,000 views and one could get £6 per 1,000 views because it's not a specific area. Like it's not science, it's not how-to, it's not educational. Ours is sort of entertainment how-to, but I think Jordan classes his as something else, so he gets a different tier. But YouTube analyze all the videos anyway, and if I go, this is a if I put it down as a business, this is a business genre that I'm putting it on, and it's me wiring a plug up, they'll just soon quickly change it.
You said genre. Genre. What does genre mean? Do you mean
genre?
Genre. What's a genre?
Mark, what genre are you in?
Genre.
Am I saying it wrong?
I don't know. You said it and it sounded dumb, so I mocked it.
Brilliant. Anyway, but that's my little piece on it.
Is it genre?
It's genre.
You said genre.
Genre.
Yeah, you can't be too posh. You're from Birmingham, so you ain't. Right, listen.
I'm not from Birmingham.
Listen.
I thought it was good.
It was good, but cool story, bro. Monday Club. We're out.
Bye.
Bye.